हाय एवरीवन, दिस इज अर्श गोयल। तो आज की वीडियो में बात करने वाले हैं हम एक ऐसी कंपनी की विच हैज अ पैकेज ऑफ 1 करोड़ प्लस सीटीसी। तो मतलब बहुत सारी कंपनीज होती है ना जिनका हम सुनते हैं न्यूज़पेपर्स में कि somebody has got a package worth rupees 1 crore, somebody has got a package of 1.5 crores per annum. So to know कि ऐसा क्या खास है उनके इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस में, क्या चीज पे वो फोकस करती है ऐसी कंपनीज विच हैव अ पैकेज ऑफ 1 करोड़ प्लस. Although its CTC is 1 crore plus, its in-hand salary is close to 27 lakhs. Along with that, if you are getting an internship at this company, you will be getting 1.6 lakhs per month as an internship stipend. तो ये कुछ चीजें हैं इस कंपनी के बारे में. इसके अलावा आई हैव वन वेरी स्पेशल गेस्ट. ही हैज रिसेंटली गॉट इनटू दिस company known as Motork, which I am going to talk about today. So we have discussed a lot of things about Motork, interview process, what were some of the important things, like was it more focused towards development or how much percentage of DSA was covered. So each and everything is going to be discussed in this video. Also resume plays a very important part. तो resume में क्या होना चाहिए, how Dev, who was very good at development, he got into this company through his development skills. So each and everything we are going to discuss, it is going to be a really amazing episode. Don't forget to check this video till the end and do subscribe this channel if you are new to this channel, watching it for the first time. A lot of content on this channel is for you, so don't forget to check that out. You will definitely find something useful. तो शुरू करते हैं आज की वीडियो.
Thank you, Ash, for inviting me to your channel and giving me this opportunity to share my experience with all the other fellows who are studying or going for Motork. So let me just give a brief introduction about myself. I am Dev. Currently, I am pursuing my undergrad in BTech CSE from VIT Vellore, and I recently cracked an on-campus opportunity from Motork to intern in their Chennai offices during the summer 2022 period.
So, like we'll talk about the company's process a little later. I just want to more curious about your programming journey, your college life, like how you started up with programming and stuff, and how it all went. So, little brief about that.
All right, so like I had programming exposure from an early on age, so I would say that I was comfortable with C++ after my 12th, as I had learned programming since 6th. So getting into the college, that was the last thing that I wanted to do. So I started out my journey with getting into development. I was very interested with web development, so I joined a club chapter. I joined a chapter in my university where I got a lot of exposure to technologies that work with web, and that's how basically it started. In the second year, then when I felt comfortable with my skills, I started participating in a lot of hackathons and won a few by MLH and the other colleges pan India. And then coming to the third year, when I realized that I need to get my DSS skills on track, I started my preparation about 4 or 5 months before the internships were starting, so around March or April.
Yeah. So we'll come on to the company's process. Like we'll try to discuss the different aspects of the company's process. Like we'll talk about the online test that the company had for shortlisting. After that, different interview rounds and what was more stressed in the interviews and what was the type of pattern that they followed for the online test. So I'd like to know more about the process, entire process of Meta.
All right, so the company had a total of 4 or 5 rounds depending on how you perform. The first one was an online assessment, of course. It was 4 questions in around 90 or 120 minutes. So the questions were in an increasing order of difficulty. The first one would be, I would qualify it as a Code Forces A type of question, where you can, observe and solve the questions. And after that, they were a bit more difficult. So the last question was actually a little tough. I could only solve 3 out of those 4 questions, and along with a few of my friends, I got shortlisted for that. From that, and one major point I would like to point out here is that it's not just the performance in online assessment that would take you forward, but also your resume. Because a few of my friends had solved 3.5 or 3.7 type of questions, they had a higher score, but still could not get shortlisted. So the probable reason would be their resume. So make sure that you have a very strong resume when you apply to a company like Motork. And then after that, we had 2 rounds. One was data structures and algorithms, the first one. And these were not eliminatory rounds. So they were in a gap of 10 or 15 minutes, the 2 rounds, the next 2 rounds. The first one was a DSA round where I was asked lead code medium type of questions. I would say medium and medium hard type of questions, or medium easy, depending upon your skill level. And there were 2 questions in around time period of 50 minutes. And then after that, I had a break of around 15 minutes again. And then we moved on to the next one, which is actually called interactive problem solving round, which is basics of system design. So you need to be familiar with a bit of design patterns as well as the basic components that are used in building systems and how they work. So I was asked to design a very basic system. I would just say it was probably just a core functionality. And then increasingly, my interviewer, he he increased the difficulty by adding faults, and I had to tolerate them. So this is how the interview went. Now, these were the 3 rounds that I faced. Some of my friends, they also faced another round where it was both TSA as well as some system design.
Okay.
And the people who were shortlisted from these rounds were actually called for the final round, which was a cultural fit with the CP.
Okay, got it, got it. So that was extensive, like both DSA as well as design was asked for such roles for freshers. But we'll come on to what all things you followed, particularly for preparing for DSA and design. Like it is something, design is something that people generally they don't do because it's felt that it's not being asked from freshers. But recently, what I have observed and what I have been seeing, many of the companies have included this round for freshers also, although they are asking a simple low level design questions, but still it has become a part of the interview process of some of the companies. So would like to know more from you regarding which all resources you followed for DSA as well as for system design.
So for DSA, I would say I mainly refer to LeetCode as my primary source, and I practiced mostly easy and medium questions on LeetCode. Apart from that, for system design, I earlier had a chance to intern at some other companies where I was required to learn system design. So I got into that a month before this one. So lucky I did not get into that company, but I still learned the system design out of it. I followed YouTube channels as well as I read a few blogs.
Okay. Okay.
So like getting started with system design, the basic design patterns and those. So I would say the YouTube resources are well enough for getting you at least the basics clear for system design.
Basically, how we should explain a particular question that comes up is well taught in those YouTube tutorials. Definitely, I would also give some of the resources for system design in the description below. You can check them out. Along with that, I would like to know more about how was your resume? As you mentioned, that resume also played a very important part for shortlisting. So, what all things were there in your resume that made you stand out from others?
Yeah, so like I told you, I got into development early on in my college. So I had a lot of dev experience. I had done 3 internships before this as well. So working there as a full stack developer or a front end developer, I learned lots of technologies which I mentioned in my resume, as well as I had a few of my projects. So, all right. So like my resume, it's a very pretty standard format and it's a clean resume. I have just 4 sections about my education projects and skills and extracurriculars. I would suggest that you mention your own projects which solve some real world problems so that whenever the interviewer asks, you can mention those, because this can actually turn the tables around for you, even if you did not perform up to the mark in technical aspects. So because I can tell this from my personal experience, I had a very small project, but it was something that solved an actual real world problem, which impressed the interviewer a lot. So that did the trick for me. Maybe it can do that for you as well. And I would say mention only those things in which you are completely confident. If anything is asked, you will be able to answer. So make your own projects, write your own skills, and that should be more than good.
Got it. Yeah, like this is something people generally say that they've mentioned as one particular thing that they thought that would not be of much significance to the interviewer, but still that thing is picked up and your entire interview goes on for that particular thing. So that's pretty much it. Like we should mention only the things that we are more confident about, that we feel that we can answer things related to that.
Yeah, as well as do your own projects. I would mention that because lots of people, they pick up projects from their friends from GitHub and like just paste the links and all that. So that like catching those things, if interviewer by accident asks you, that would actually be very embarrassing during that time, because you made the project and you don't know how this works. All right.
Understood.
Also, one more thing, the resume, since it's given weight, you mention your GitHub, you mention your code forces, you mention your code chef. that would be a lot beneficial to you as well.
Definitely, that's the testimony that you have done your projects. It's all the commits that you have, like they can see if they want in any of your
So
projects.
because there is proof, you don't need to prove it anywhere else. You'll have your commits, you'll have your submissions.
Definitely. It was pretty interesting to know about the process and talking to you. Just wanted to have one last piece of advice for somebody who's looking forward to such a company like Motalk.
All right. So the final piece of advice that I would give you is balance your dev and DSA. So like if you get stuck at DSA, sometimes you are saturated. Maybe you can shift your focus to dev, explore that in your if you're in your first year, second year, and keep a good balance of both. If you are applying to a company like Motorco and some other companies that are moving away from just DS, but another thing that I would say is just have a good resume, have a good GitHub, Codeforces, CodeChef, whatever profile that you think you can build the best.
Thank you so much, Dev. It was great talking to you. I hope this conversation would be really very insightful for somebody who is looking forward to companies like Motalk. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for inviting me.
I hope ये conversation बहुत पसंद आई होगी and you are looking forward to more such amazing content. So if you are looking forward to more such amazing content, do let me know in the comment section for which companies you are looking forward to interview experiences and you're looking forward to the complete process. So I'll come back with some of the things. So don't forget to check that out. Till then, stay awesome, stay blessed, and good luck for your placements and internships.